So one of the last things I wanted to talk about from the GUI slides is just giving you examples on how to use the ChoiceBox that we saw, handling the mouse events. Also, we saw a ColorPicker and a DatePicker. So those are kind of some interesting things that I kind of just wanted to demonstrate, like in one project. So as you can see, I already have my project created, and I did include some images that I'm going to use. So I plan on doing like a choice box that has flavors of ice cream, and I'm going to use these images to, show an image view with these images that I pulled off the internet. So let's go ahead and get started. So I already made my launcher class, so I'm just going to go ahead and make another class, which is just going to be my entire application. Actually, maybe I'll just stick to how I was doing things before, where I was just doing the panels. So I'll go ahead and make a class called my custom panel. Okay, so my custom panel is going to extend the VBox, which is the panel that has the items aligned vertically. And I'm going to have a constructor. All right, I want to have a lot of events, so I'm going to need some instance data for all the components that I plan to use. So I'm going to go ahead and just type them all up here right now. For first thing I know I'm going to need is a choice box, because I know that's one thing that I want to do. And it's going to hold strings, and the strings that it's going to hold is the ice cream flavors. So I'll call this one, I'll just generically name it choice box. All right. The other thing was I want to do ColorPicker, and we'll just call it ColorPicker. There's also a DatePicker that I thought was kind of interesting. We can demo that. Was that it? I believe so. That's it for the components that I wanted to show. Oh, you know what? I am going to use an ImageView. So yeah, I need to put that up here. And this is going to be like the selected ice cream. So we'll just call it like ice cream ImageView. I'm going to need a few arrays. So the arrays I'm going to use are the array for the strings that I'm going to put into the choice box, which is going to be the flavors of ice cream. So I'm going to go ahead and make a string array. I'm going to call this one flavors. And then I'm also going to need an array for the images that I'm going to use. And I'll call this one flavor images. All right, let me import this class. We're going to make these private. Okay, so what I'm going to do in my constructor is initialize these arrays. That's the first thing I want to do. Flavor images, I'm going to say it's going to be new image array, and I'm going to go ahead and put my image objects inside of here. So image, and I'm going to pass in, I'm going to do new. All right, I'll start off with vanilla as the default. Then we'll go with the chocolate. So what I'm doing is I'm initializing an array of image objects, and I'm just, instead of like doing the whole thing where I make it a certain size and then fill it with objects, I'm just doing the initializer list. Dang it, messed that up. All right, so I have vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, rocky road, and also mint chocolate chip. And I believe that is it. All right, so I have my images initialized. So the next thing I want to do is initialize my flavors array with the strings. Okay, so in here I'm going to have vanilla. This is upsetting me for some reason. Well, let me fill it out and then I'll fix it. So I'm going to have vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, rocky road, mint chocolate chip. All right, I got everything in. This is still upset. Let me fix this. All right. Okay, so I got my arrays initialized, and now what I want to do is go ahead and kind of set up this GUI. So I plan on just stacking everything vertically, but let me see. Do I want to put labels on anything? I guess not. All right, so the first thing is going to be my choice box, and then underneath the choice box, I'm going to have the image view, and then underneath the image view, I'm going to have a section for like the date picker, and underneath the date picker, I'm going to have the color picker. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and just throw all that into a GUI, see how it looks, and I'll go back and set the events that are going to be triggered whenever we click on, like whenever we select a color, or whenever we select a date from the date picker or an item from the choice box. So let me go ahead, and the first thing I want to do is do actually the choice box. We'll do the choice box. It's going to be, oops, I'm sorry, I already declared this. So there's the variable, the new choice box, and what we're going to do is we're going to set the items. Yeah, we're going to add all, and then we're going to pass in the flavors, which is going to be the string of flavors that we have. And we're going to have to set an event for this. We'll go ahead and do that right now. So we're going to just do, we're going to set the on action, and I'm going to use this, and I'll say do flavor select action, and I'll go make that method in a bit. Okay, then the next thing is the image view. Wait, dang it, I already have the variable declared. I just need to create the object. Okay, and I'm gonna just default it to the first flavor image. And why is this upset? Oh, I'm using the wrong image view. Okay, so where did I say? Oh yeah, I am using the wrong image view. So let me just delete this real quick and import the right one. So I'm going to use the JavaFX one. Okay. And then after the image view, we're going to have the ColorPicker. And it wants us to give like, well, I'm going to give it a default, and the default I'm going to give it is white. That's why like the white color is selected. And then the date picker. And the default, I'll just use local date time now. Okay, and then I have my VBox, or this panel is a VBox, so I'm just going to go ahead and just add all this to it. So the way I'm going to do that is it's get children and add all. And I'm gonna pass in the order of which I want to add all this stuff. So the first one is the choice box, then the image view, or the ice cream image view, ColorPicker, DatePicker. Okay, so once I do that, I do set align position center. And then set spacing, right? Set spacing, and we'll just set it to, I don't know, 25. Oops, 25. Okay, so I believe that is it. I do need to create this action here, and you know what? I want to put some actions on the ColorPicker and the DatePicker. Okay, so I have my method set. So what I'm going to do now is just create these methods. I'm just going to like hover over and have IntelliJ like auto create. And just so I can see the events actually taking place, what I'm going to do is just do a system.out.println and just print out the value that's currently selected. So for the choice box, was this choice box? No, this is a date select box. So for the date select box, I'm going to say DatePicker, get value. For the color selection, I'm going to say ColorPicker, get value. And then for the choice box, I'm going to have to grab my choice box and then get the selection model and then get the selected item. Okay, so it's going to, that way at least it prints something out to the console so we can see those actions actually taking place. And then I'm going to come back over to my launcher, and this is going to extend the application class. Then I'm going to need to implement the start method, and then I'm going to launch. Dang it, launch this app. Gonna mess this up because I put a capital L on launch to lowercase. All right. Then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to scene. I'm going to create a scene. Okay, then I'm going to instantiate a new custom panel like as I pass it in. I forgot to put my equals, my assignment operator. And let's just go ahead and default it to 500 by 500. All right, and then the stage, we'll just set the title. Let's say my custom app, and then set the scene, and then show the stage. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this, or yeah, run it. All right, so looks like I have an exception. Okay, let me just read this really quick. So invalid URL, resource not found. Okay, so it's upset. So basically it's telling me that these files don't exist. Okay, so it's complaining about these images. It's saying that they're URLs. So what I need to do is actually come over here and put like a prefix in front of it, so it knows that these are files and not a URL. It's just, I don't know, just weird JavaFX thing. I should have known, because if IntelliJ is giving me a hint, it's actually calling it the URL. So I'm going to assume I can actually put in a valid URL and it'll actually go grab those images off the internet. Okay, so let me run this one more time. Okay, so it ran. Up here is my, oh, I didn't set a default for this. Okay, so I should have set a default for my color picker to default to vanilla. But you can see as I select something from this choice box, the output is actually getting put in the console back here. When I select a color, same thing. It's giving me the hex color. I don't know if you guys see that, but yeah, pretty cool. And then the date, I don't really know what we can do with this date, but as I select, it's giving me the value of the date. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do anything special with the date. I'm just going to let it print out to the console like we're doing here. But what I'm going to do with this color picker is I'm going to change the background color. Then what I'm going to do with this choice box is when we select something, I want to change this image. So let me close this and come back over here. So the first thing I need to correct on my choice box is to set a default selection. So I'm going to come over here to choice box and type ChoiceBox.get selection model and select first. Okay, that way vanilla's selected automatically. Okay, so what I want to do is as soon as you select an ice cream from the choice box, what we want to do is actually change the image view. So ice cream image view, and then we'll just say set image. Okay, and then we're going to select an image from the array. So I intentionally matched the list of flavors with the images of the ice cream so that I can just use the index of what was selected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my flavors image and I'm going to reference an index, and that index I'm going to use is going to be what is currently selected from my choice box. So I'm going to go to ChoiceBox.selection model.get selected index. So if vanilla is selected, that selected index would be 0. If chocolate is selected, then that would be 1, and so on. So I'm just basically just getting the index so I know which one to select and put into the image view. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to do is change the background color on the color selection. So this is a little difficult. I actually looked into this before I did this example, and what we're going to do is, since the panel that we're using, like we're using the panel, like we're inside of a panel right now. So essentially what I can do is just do like set background. Okay, but there's actually a background object that I'm supposed to pass. So the background object I'm supposed to pass is just going to be a new background. And then inside of that, there's what we call a background fill. You can do some research on JavaFX, and that's where I got my information from. And then from here, I'm going to pass in that paint fill, a radius, like the corner of a radius, and then inset. Okay, so that's like for the border. So what I want to do is pass the selected color right here. So I'm say ColorPicker.getValue, and then what I'm going to do is go to corner radius, do empty, and the next one was insets, and do that as empty. And that should change the background color based off the color that was selected. I know that's kind of difficult. I'll show you another way to do it that might be a little easier. If you remember, we can also set the style. Okay, but when we set the style, we pass in a string, which is the fx.background color, and then we pass a color right here. Okay, so what we can do is we can pass this hex color right here, but unfortunately, it's, when I'm printing it out to the console, it has this 0x in front of it. We can find and replace the 0x and just put a pound there, and then, or a hash, and then pass that value, and it should set the background color. But let's just try this way first, and then we'll come back and try the set value or set style. Okay, so let me go ahead and run this. All right, so now when I choose a flavor, then the image changes for whatever the flavor is that I selected. the images aren't the same size, so like you can see like it's getting bigger and smaller. When I change the background color, come over here, I select the color, the background color changes. You can also do a custom color. So this is all built into that GUI, or not, sorry, that widget that we use, the ColorPicker. Like I didn't program any of this, I just included it, and we can just, custom create a color. And then the DatePicker, we didn't do anything, but it just prints out the date to the back. So pretty cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to change the background color using that set style. So the reason I didn't like this approach was I just kind of felt like it was kind of hackish of what I was doing. So basically what I was trying to do is set like a value like right there. Okay. And I basically have to just take this X value and remove the 0 and the X. So what we can do is just come over here, put a space, put a plus, and then just say ColorPicker get value to string, because we want to get the string value, and then we want to replace 0x with the pound or the hash, and I'm going to go ahead and comment out this set background. That way we're using this line to set the background color. I'm going to run this, and we come over here and we set these colors. All right, pretty cool. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about was the mouse events, and they're actually pretty easy to do. You can make the mouse events just like we did with the do actions. So for instance, I want to make a mouse event for the image view, and maybe I'll have like a custom message that we print out. So let me think about this. Let's come over here and do the label. Oops, let me do private label. Okay, and we'll just call it label. We'll just be generic with it. All right, and then I'll come down over here somewhere and just make my label. Dang it, I already have, okay, label, new label. And I'll set like a preferred height, and we'll just say 100 because I don't really know, these dimensions yet, and there's nothing in it right now. But what's going to happen is we hover over like the image of the image view, then I want to just say something about hovering over it. Okay, so we'll come over here, we'll take this and we'll slap it in like right underneath the image view. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is go to my image view, or somewhere in my image view. I'll just say, oh, there's my image view right there. I'm going to do set mouse, and you can see there's so many events that we can do. So we'll just say if they click on the mouse event, or if they click on the image, then we'll just say like this dot do image click action. Okay, and what we're gonna do is just like put a message inside of this label. So I'm gonna create this method, and what I'm gonna do is just say label, and then I'll set text. And I guess depending on what we have selected, we can say different things. So we can actually have a little bit of fun with this. So for instance, what I can do is we'll have a string, and we'll just say, we'll call it message. I don't know why I put 0. I'll do like an empty string. Okay, And I'll just make a switch because I don't really use switches that often. And then I'll do ColorPicker dot, oops, not ColorPicker, dang it. It's a ChoiceBox dot get selection model dot get selected index. Okay, so we only have 5 possible options. So case, if it's 0, and then we'll break. Okay, so if it's 0, we're gonna just say, okay, well, once at the message, that means they selected vanilla. We'll just say like vanilla, so boring. And then I'm just gonna copy this, like this whole thing here, and that's 4, and go ahead and just change these numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is 1 is chocolate, so I can say I love chocolate. Next one is strawberry. I'll say strawberry is so sweet. The next choice was rocky road. So like very crunchy, rocky road. And then mint chocolate chip. I'll just say interesting. Interesting choice. Okay, so then what I'll do is once I make that message, then I'll just say label dot set text and then pass in the message. All right, and we'll go ahead and run this. Okay, so here is my app. So once I click on this, I see my message. Vanilla is so boring. Now, if I have strawberry selected, click on it. Strawberry is so sweet. Chocolate, I love chocolate. Mint chocolate chip, interesting choice. And rocky road, very country, or very crunchy. Okay, so there's other mouse events as you saw. We can play with some of them, but there's so many of them. But depending on what mouse event you select, that's actually what's going to happen. So, for instance, we can like maybe make an event to where when you mouse leaves the image view, then this message clears. So instead of making a custom method for this, we can just do what we talked about in the previous video, where we make what we call an anonymous inner class, or we can also do that Lambda expression. So I'm going to go ahead and say there should be like a mouse out. Normally there's a mouse on. Mouse clicked, dragged, moved, press, drag over. Oh, mouse exited. Okay, that's what it is. All right, and then what I'm going to do is just hit Control Space, and I'm just going to select the first one. And this is what we call like a Lambda expression. You can put the curly braces there, but if there's only one statement in your method, then you don't need curly braces. And really all I'm going to do is just take label, and then I'm going to say set text to an empty string. So every time we leave the image, the mouse leaves the image, then the text is going to clear. Okay, so it's not picking up me leaving yet. I mean, it is picking it up. It's just, it's setting this text box on here to blank, but we haven't clicked on this ice cream yet. So once we click on this ice cream, then we leave, then the message goes away. So click, and as soon as it detects the mouse leave the image, the message goes away. We come back in, we can listen to the event of us hovering over it. So maybe perhaps you want to show that message whenever we hover, we can do that. So the mouse enters into the image view. I believe that's what I saw. it was the enter event, then we can show a message. Okay, so there's like so many different things that you can do with this. It's very, very interesting. So, and you can pretty much do it on any GUI component. So we can even detect when you leave this application right here, or even like the entire, actually this entire panel, like maybe like when you put the mouse outside of the panel, you know, we can like put a message right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just kind of play with this a little bit more to kind of just show you some of these events. So we'll come back over to this image view, and then we'll set like another mouse event. Oops. And the one I want to do is the entered, which is like the hovered. Okay, so I'm going to do control space, select that. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same label. I'm going to just set the text, and then I'll just say something. And this is going to be said for like anytime you hover over. So this is going to be interesting. So we're going to hover over, and then when we click, then it's going to trigger the click event. Okay. And even though we're moving the mouse around, like it shouldn't trigger the entered event anymore, because we already like triggered it, if that makes sense. If you wanted the event to occur like all the time, or we would need the drag event, I believe. That's where like you're moving the mouse on top of the image. So I can put something for the drag event to show up on the logs or in the console, so that we can see that happening as well. So whenever we enter on the mouse, the image view, we'll just say something like ooh, right? That's what you say. Ooh, I don't know, or oh, you like ice cream. I guess ice cream is 2 words, because this is getting upset at me. Okay, and then the drag event, I kind of wanted to show that as well. Drag detected. Wait, on mouse. Dragged, and I believe that is, or drag over. Dang, I don't know which one does which, but we'll just do them both. And we'll just say system.out.println drag over. And I didn't need this semicolon right there. I don't think I did. Wait, I'm so confused now. Oh yeah, I do need it if I'm going to use the curly braces. Okay, but I'm not, since it's just one statement. Okay, and then the other one was a drag over and drag enter, drag. There's so many of these things, dang. I don't know what to do anymore. Dragged. Okay, I think this is when you're moving the item around. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We should probably do some research on these so we can know what they do. I'll leave that up to you. And we'll just call this one the mouse, or the dragged event. All right, so let's go and just run this really quick. Okay, so like I was saying, when we enter, we should see the label show up. We entered. Okay. And I'm moving this around. I'm not triggering anything inside of this output. Okay. So enter, exit. So I guess the drag would be like if you're, so this dragged event is getting triggered. And what I was doing was just right clicking and like, like if I would to like pick it up and drag it like we would on a Windows system. So that was pretty interesting. When we click, so my mouse is on top of it. And you see that doesn't clear until, so like I'm moving my mouse on top of the image, it doesn't clear until I exit, but when I come back in, I'm getting the message for entering into the image. Okay, and like these mouse events can be done anywhere. So on this panel, like when I leave, I can just say this, or actually I don't have to say this, but I can just say set on mouse exit, mouse exit, and then do my expression here. I'll just say set text. I'll just say like wait. Come back. Okay. And then when they enter back in, then I'll just clear that label. Okay, so I'll run this. All right, so my mouse is outside of this panel currently. Okay, I don't see anything, but when I enter and then I exit, right? So it detected me coming back in, detected me exiting. Okay, so it's also doing like hovering over the ice cream, clicking on the ice cream, yeah, all of that. Okay, and that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. So there's a lot of pretty cool things that you can do with JavaFX. They have some of these widgets built in, and I encourage everybody to play with them, see what you can do with them. These are actually pretty useful.